Hey, Sagittarius, Mel, intuitive coach here, excited to bring in your quarterly reading for October, November, and December. All right, Sag, let's open up your energy field and take a look at what is uncovering for you over the next few months. We have loyal heart. This is beautiful. This speaks of a connection. It could even be the law of attraction where your inner and outer worlds are starting to come together. The head and the heart are speaking the same language here. You are staying loyal to yourself. But I feel like you may have gone through or are going through some major changes. There are some endings, some doors closing for you in order to make space for new beginnings, new energies, and new opportunities to show up. Bottom of the deck, you have the Ace of Pentacles. There's the start of something fresh. This is the start of a new life. For some of you, it is a move. You could be relocating. You could be getting a new job. This is a new income source here, but it's also about your physical health and well-being. Maybe some of you are focusing on the heart chakra. And I feel like you are incorporating more of what you love into your life. This is about you spending time with people who you love. It is about you focusing on learning and skills and passion projects that inspire you, that it's coming from a place of heart. And when this Ace of Pentacles shows up, I feel like there's also a positive reward here because you haven't given up. Even though life's hard knocks have knocked you down time and time again, I feel like your superpower, your strength is that you haven't given up and you've actually built up a very solid space, an energetic space within yourself. And I feel like this is your internal world, as I've mentioned, showing up in your outer world. So you're witnessing here these divine blessings. You're witnessing here some powerful changes that are occurring here in quarter four, especially around your season for those of you sun sign Sagittarians out there. Now, loyal heart also has to do with learning the lessons here of love or understanding love in a deeper way because the two owls are creating a heart and owls represent wisdom. And I feel like you have learned through perhaps some darker periods of your life, hence owls being nocturnal. But I feel like you have this inner light that is bestowed upon you and you're using that inner light to kind of shine it out into the world. This could be through your own spiritual gifts. This is about you showing up generously for others. And I see that because you are such a brave, kind soul, you help other people out. You're going to get that back in return. And you have serendipity right below it with the 4-leaf clover. So this is like a lucky break, or it is shifts that come in for you and dismantle some old dynamics in order for you to fully embrace the luck that you have been creating in your own world. Now, moving into October, you have peace showing up as your key theme. Number 23. Some of you may be born on the 23rd. Perhaps you are 35 years old, 48 years old, or 52, or you could be turning those ages. But I see here that you are making space for peace to fully embody your life. But first, that may require you to let go of the things that are disrupting your peace. And sometimes that's easier said than done. because you may feel obligated or because we have responsibilities. But I feel like this has been, an integration process. It's not a quick fix. It's not, a magic key. I feel like you have been doing the work. You've been taking these steps to acquire more peace and simplicity into your world, and also to participate in activities, excuse me, activities, rituals, exercises, or collaborations that, uplift you instead of drain you. So I feel like the name of the game for you in the month of October, Sag, is to be gentle with yourself, because you have the egg showing up here, and eggs represent new beginnings, but they're also very fragile. When you drop an egg, it's game over. You can't use that egg. It's broken. And I see here that you are being asked to stay gentle and compassionate and kind with yourself, even though there may be situations that are irreparable, or you've gone through, some struggles or challenges. I feel like you are still being guided to invite peace into your world, invite peace into your body. This is also about regulating your nervous system. Some of you have been fighting perhaps adrenal fatigue, or you've been in that constant state of fight or flight, or maybe you've even felt burnout or exhaustion. And I see that this is a month where big changes are occurring here for you. Your clarifiers are the death energy. You have the 4 of Cups, and you have the 5 of Swords. So no wonder you are craving peace, because some of you were dealing with someone who may have been very, I'm getting the word hypocritical. So maybe someone who was micromanaging, or they were telling you to live a certain way, but they were not in turn, living in the way. Like, they were not taking the advice, or you're like, why would I take advice from you? You're not living in the way that, you're preaching. And I see here that some of you may have even dealt with an ego battle. Maybe this is with your own ego. It could be the ego of someone else, someone who may be very arrogant, maybe very I'm getting also not as mature. Like, they could even be older than you, but it doesn't feel like they have learned the lessons, or they're not as evolved in some way as you. And that can cause you to feel, like, shut down. It can cause you to become annoyed even at times. And the 4 of Cups is saying, I don't want to deal with that drama. I know what I want to fight for when it's worth fighting, but if it's disrupting my peace, it's not worth staying in the midst of this drama, because it's like hitting your head against the wall, getting nowhere. And the 4 of Cups is a turning point here. Some of you may have been focused on this 5 of Swords, something that has happened to you. Maybe someone has taken advantage of you. Someone was very angry, very rageful. This could be someone who was bullying you, or someone who wasn't being a good team player. They're not a good, team. There's not good sportsmanship here. It feels like this person is very selfish, very egotistical. This is someone who doesn't fight fairly. And it certainly can be dominant or control based on someone's status, based on their looks, or based on their money. And it just feels like you are turning a new leaf here when it comes to whatever this was in your life. I mean, 5 of Swords is not my favorite energy. Not when the ego gets involved. And, the ego, no matter what, if you are dealing with someone who is hyper focused in this energy, you are not going to get anywhere with them. And that can be very frustrating. And you may have a choice to make. Do I want to continue, again, hitting my head against the wall, expecting this person to shift or change, or, wanting to free myself from it? And that's what I see you doing here. Because some of you, may have shut down. Maybe you have become avoidant. Perhaps you have become numb, or it's like your emotions have flatlined. You may not be feeling a certain way towards this person or towards this energy as you once did. And this could also be parts of oneself. Maybe this is an internal ego battle where external validation may have been part of the mix. Like the things that you have, had created this false sense of security, whether it's your home or your money or, the things that we all have that we kind of drape over us to some degree. And I see that you're thawing this area of your life out, meaning you're not avoiding it. You're not, pushing it under the rug. You're not hiding behind it. I feel like you're getting to the nitty gritty of what you need to look at. And that's going to initiate this turning point. And you may have been very frustrated or even bored with this ongoing energy. And you're saying to yourself, I'm going to reach out, or I'm going to open myself up to, a new energy, a new opportunity, because this doesn't inspire me. This type of living or this type of energy doesn't do anything for me. It's not what I stand for. It's not this evolved version of myself. If anything, this is very, very, 3D, very materialistic and mentally confusing as well. And I see that that's what's coming to an end here, Sag. The death card is about transitioning here. So you may be witnessing here the death of, old cycles. Maybe you are again stepping out of this mental warfare, something that's been going on within you. Even if this energy is no longer physically in your world, it has taken its toll emotionally. And sometimes it takes time to, recover. And I see that you are coming to a space where this is liberation. You're liberating yourself from this and you're rising up stronger because something here was out of your control. And maybe there's been someone that, has also, exited your life. Some of you, it may be abruptly, but I feel like someone has exited and it left you with like, why? Why did this happen? Or how did that person, didn't they feel anything? Or how could they have done that? But I see that you are moving into more peace. So if doors are being closed, let them, right? Let them. Don't resist. Don't try to go back and wiggle that door open and peek through and say, but wait, right? But wait, because something here is closing out once and for all, because what you have growing is something quite beautiful, something quite profound that is actually going to bring in more peace. This could be a relationship that feels more honest, feels more peaceful, more joyful. It could be a job opportunity that, lights you up. It doesn't feel like you're constantly hustling and, mentally taxing on your body and your mind and your spirit. It feels like this does bring in this beautiful energy of saying, I'm going to be fragile with this though. I'm not going to roughhouse this energy. I'm going to slowly open the door. You're not kicking the door in, right? You're not going to break the egg. I feel like the door is opening up right in front of you, but it does require, a conclusion here, a closure or a goodbye. And I feel like that's what's happening. It's like there's a final goodbye to a situation and it's opening the door to something better. Now, in the month of November, you have poised. This is it. This is you getting ready. This is about to take action here. When you are poised, it's like you're getting into position. It reminds me of, I'm getting football players on the field and it's like they're getting ready to hike. They're in the position here. Everybody is where they need to be. And boom, then that football is thrown. And I see here that you're hitting a touchdown or you're getting a touchdown here. This is what I feel. I feel for many of you, you've had to put yourself in this certain position here. And now it's time to play the game. Now it's time for that winning goal here. and it's number 48. As I've mentioned, some of you may be 48 years old. So, whoa, we have the Tower, we have the Star, and we have the Nine of Wands. This is the final quarter here of the game where things are getting, getting deep, getting intense, because maybe the score is tied. And I feel like you are, you're tired. You've been playing the game for quite some time, but I see that there's this renewed sense of determination within you. There is this fight within you, and I see that there's also this excitement, even though it's kind of intermingled with a bit of exhaustion, because again, it's like you're in the final quarter, the score is tied, and you are in the hot seat. And that's kind of what I feel here. And even though there may be a lot going on, you may be getting hit from all different angles here. And again, I'm kind of playing out this football theme that is showing up in my head. Maybe some of you are huge football fans. I live in the Cheese State. I live in the state where the Packers come from. So there's a lot of Packer fans here. But I do feel like, there's a lot coming in from all different angles, hence the Tower, because the Tower can be, destroying old structures. It is massive awakening, surprise. Like you're on your A game though. You can see things coming at you. It feels like you have this intuitive sense that, something's coming in from this angle or someone's coming up from behind you. And this can be different energies, right? It can be things that you are feeling. It can be emotions. But oftentimes, the Tower can show up unexpectedly. But because you have the Star right behind it, which literally the Tower comes number 16, and then the Star comes after the Tower, it feels like you're dodging a bullet. It feels like there's this deep understanding here of the game. And you are not only prepared for this, right? This tells me that this Tower is something that you have been preparing for, but there's this recovery. There's this brighter future ahead. And this is the winning goal. This is about that touchdown here. And that's what it feels like for you with the Star. It feels like there's a dream, there's a win, there's healing that's taking place here. It's like you finally get to rest your muscles after you've been playing the game. It feels like you are, thawing out in some way. Some of you, I'm getting like cold plunge or cold therapy, which I know they take ice baths in football as well. Some of you could even be, working your muscles. Maybe this is some sort of physical therapy that you have gone through. Maybe this is a health issue. Maybe you did take a big hit in some way. And I see that there is quick recovery. It almost feels like, back to back where, it feels like at first you're like, oh my gosh, this hit is going to take forever to come back from. It is going to, take a while to financially recover from that blow or this relationship that I've gone through or this ending, this death. But I feel like because you are more awakened than most, Sagittarius, you're able to heal quicker. And not because you are spiritually bypassing, not because you're not doing the work. You've just played a hell of a game. But I see here that you get to celebrate your wins. You get to celebrate your success. So when the Star shows up, I definitely see that there is a brighter future here for you, because what you may not have noticed was that up in the stands, someone was watching. And this is in your life. It's like someone is observing from a distance. And I feel like that observer, that energy here is now seeing your skills, your gifts, your talents. And I feel like you could be headhunted for some of you, and you may not even recognize it. Could come out of the blue and change your world. Some of you could move. Some of you could relocate, as I mentioned. This could be a new income source. And for others of you, I feel like if this is health, you are going to recover quicker than you think. I'm also getting here like a big scare that turns out to be not as bad as it could be. So for example, let's say that you have you have a mole and it has the potential to have cancer, and you have to go in and get that mole removed, and they bring it in and test it, and you realize that yes, it had cancer in that mole. And if you would have let it go any further, it could have completely turned out to be a different story. So it feels like there's a happy ending to something, but it woke you up, right? It was like a cold splash of water on your face, and you're like, wow, I am so grateful that I caught this, or I'm so grateful that I was aware of this, because when these things happen, it kind of shifts our perspective. And for those of you that are dealing with a health issue, I feel like you are, you're working with the right people here. The 9 of Wands tells me that you are a warrior. There's nothing here that you are not going to fight for. And maybe that's that 5 of Swords is saying, I'm going to fight for this because I believe in myself, and I believe that, I have what it takes to overcome this. So it can be a win at all cost mentality. And it could be you saying, I'm not going to let, the past hold me back any longer. So 5 of Swords isn't always the worst energy, especially if it's showing up in the reverse, because it means that, if we are walking away from something, it's because we know that we've hit a dead end. But if we are fighting for something, it's because it's something worth fighting for. So take that into context, however it relates to you. But I am seeing here with these two energies coming together, November is a huge month. All right, a huge month. So let's look at December. You have the mending coming through here. So this is the month where, you've kind of worked through what you've gone through playing that game, and the game is over. And now you get to spend, your time kind of recovering here, in a way, licking your wounds, but not in a way that feels down or feels depressed. It just feels like, wow, I get to relax here, because again, that's kind of the point of peace showing up in your world. And it just feels like you're able to get along here with the energies instead of feeling like the energies are causing friction. So in the month of December, you are feeling better, right? You're starting to mend emotionally, you're starting to mend physically. And even though there may have been losses that have occurred here, you're a fighter. And I feel like you're getting back up here, and you are moving towards, these new offerings, these new beginnings. So let's see what the clarifiers are. Wow. Okay. We have the Devil, we have the 5 of Cups, and we have the Justice scales. You are balancing here. Some of you, your equilibrium may have been off. Some of you may have even gotten dizzy spells, or perhaps you're finding out that there was some sort of vitamin deficiency in the body, or maybe you had to wear, like crutches, or maybe you were in crutches here, or you had some sort of surgery done. I feel like you're mending, you're healing. And the Devil here is also about you taking a look at the things that almost destroyed you, but they didn't, right? Because the Devil here is liberation, and you're facing that Devil, looking it in the eye and saying, bring it on. You can try to come at me, but I have created such a strong, solid, spiritual, protective boundary. And I feel like you're not letting anything penetrate you. I feel like it's not that you're invincible, right? Because it's not that you are, it feels like taking a bullet, but at the same time, because you have taken a bullet in the past, symbolically, it feels like they're coming at you, but you are kind of moving, like you know where to move. You know how to work with this energy because you've been there in the past and you have taken that hit. And I feel like you're not allowing yourself to let the past drag you back in, especially moving into 2026. This can be your bad habits. This can be, things that you don't love, but sometimes we lean into because, there's this sense of false comfort. The Devil can comfort us. Yeah, absolutely. Every single one of us will lean into the Devil many times throughout our lives. But sometimes this can create addiction. We can tend to heavily rely on that comfort in a sense, but it's false comfort. And I see that you're breaking away from that and you are building up this sense of stability, security, and peace within you. This isn't anything external that is going to fill you up with as much peace and joy than you are already doing for yourself. And you're going to see it flow out into your outer world as, honest peace, honest joy and happiness. You no longer have to repress parts of yourself. Now, the devil can be things that we're bonded to. It can be manipulation with that Five of Swords. It can be codependencies. It can be materialism. And I feel, Sag, that you're no longer addicted to this controlling piece, right? You're not letting it control you. It's like you have this under control now. And maybe that hasn't always been the case, because the Five of Cups showing up here is about past pain receding and hope emerging. And that's where this balance is restored within your body, within your mind, within your finances. I mean, judgment can also be, a legal battle that you have faced. It can be misalignments within the body that seem to be misfiring. Some of you feel like the body has, given out on you in some way, but I feel like you are starting to be gentle, like more gentle with yourself, more understanding. You're taking care of what needs to be taken care of, because sometimes when we are young, we feel like we can do anything and we can go through anything and we can be rough and tough on our bodies, and then we start to feel it. And I feel like that is what's shifting here for you on a physical level, but also when it comes to, how you generate income and how you, deal with relationships. And some of you have gone through some very unhealthy or toxic patterns or behaviors or even individuals, but you have learned so much about yourself in the process. And I have a feeling there is karma. There's good karma coming in here for you, which is dharma, right? So you've gone through some karmic lessons nonetheless, maybe even some karmic relationships, but it feels through this transitionary time that you are currently navigating, especially with that tower and that star, there's a lot of healing that is taking place here within your body. I'm getting cellular upgrades, DNA shifts that are occurring, and you're finding that sweet spot. And I think that was also Libra's energy. Yeah, in Libra's reading, the title was, I believe, The Sweet Spot. And that's what I'm seeing here for you. It's like, yes, you've gone through the moon and you've seen the sun. This is the balance of duality, the balance of polarity, being on both sides of the situation here, being in the darkness, but also embracing the light, because that's part of our human experience, especially with that devil there. But the devil can drag you into that darkness for maybe longer than you want to be. And sometimes we repress because then it becomes our comfort zone. Then we become bonded and tethered to it, and we feel like we can't get out. And after a while, it disrupts our peace. And I see that you are recognizing whatever this may be in your life, and you're opening yourself up towards leaning into the light, leaning into the sunshine here. And that ultimately is bringing you this reward with the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. You have laid a good foundation for yourself. You are going to continue to build upon this foundation of physical health and well-being. This is about your success. And I see that whatever it is that you may be growing over the next few months, not only has the potential to, evolve into something quite abundant, but I feel like you can also branch off. Hence, the tree has a lot of branches. This is something that, over time, it's really going to fluff out, right? It reminds me of like a fake not that there's a fake thing going on in your life, but like a fake or artificial Christmas tree that when you get it out of the box, you have to fluff it out to kind of fill it in. And that's what I see happening for you is you are taking it day by day and you are kind of fluffing a situation out. You're feeling it out, but over time you're going to step back and say, wow, this is full. I am full of love. I am full of life. I am full of joy and peace. And it just feels like there's more fulfillment with something here that is being initiated over the coming months. So Sagittarius, let's dive in here and take a look at some quotes that Spirit wants you to know at this time. And for those of you who would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway, all you need to do is drop your favorite quote, affirmation, maybe words of wisdom. This could be something that someone had spoke to you or told you or shared with you that has stuck with you. Maybe it's been a game changer. Maybe it's something that you say often or fall back onto. Drop it in the comment section below. I will enter you into the free reading giveaway, where I post right back here on the channel on the 1st of every month, right on the community tab. So please be sure to hit that subscribe and bell button if you haven't already. All right, Sag. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. This is that confidence that is starting to really bubble up within your own self. Not because somebody had said that to you, right? It's not anything external. You know this because you've come a long way on your journey. You know that you're brave. This is about you knowing that you're strong and that you are smart. You are intelligent. So that is the truth. That is what you are, uncovering deep within you. Now, Helen Keller reminds us that the best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. Absolutely. They must be felt with the heart. And you have here loyal heart at the bottom of the deck. And that's the underlying flow, the undercurrent that is coursing through your every choice, your every decision, your every movement throughout the next few months. You have Walt Whitman. I love this. We just said this literally. Keep your face always towards the sunshine and the shadows will fall behind you. That's that justice, this Libran energy of justice, right? You're finding balance within that darkness as well, but you're embodying and accompanying it all. You realize that the light and dark is part of that human experience, and you're not turning a blind eye, but you are turning towards the light. You can't cross the sea merely by standing and staring at the water. There's the poise. There's you taking action, right? This is about you, not only prepping and getting in position, but it's about you playing the game here. This is about that winning goal that you have here, the winning touchdown. And I see that you are getting ready with that Ace of Pentacles. There's something beautiful here that is unraveling here, unfolding for you. Even though that devil may want to kind of sneak its ugly head back in and say, wait a second, are you really smart enough, right? Are you really brave? Are you really strong? And the answer is yes, right? The answer is yes, absolutely. And then lastly, courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. No matter how many times, Sagittarius, that devil threatens to bring you down, or maybe it does have a grip on you, you can always start again tomorrow. Don't give up. That is your superpower. That is your strength. You are inviting more peace into your world. You are inviting more peace into your body. And I see here that you're not alone. You have spiritual support. You have a team. You are inviting more people into your physical circle here as well, or strengthening existing bonds. People that are in your corner, not people who are superficial, not people who are unhealthy. That's what you are, taking inventory of. And I feel like you are saying to yourself, I know my worth. I know what I deserve, and I will not settle for less. That is what I have for you, Sagittarius. If you enjoyed the reading, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share it or send this to someone who may need it. And of course, don't forget to drop your favorite quotes in the comment section below. And if you are interested in a personal reading or signing up for the monthly newsletter, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video.